the day I found you. I want to stay around you, and so I beg you, let it be me.
Okay, enough of the preliminaries. Time for the main event.
How's our little starlet from Oregon?
Well, our little starlet from Oregon's having a lot more fun than some people I could name.
Miss Fleming, your sister's gonna be very disappointed in you.
Oh, there's more. Try to catch the guy's face when he comes up for air.
Well, hooray for Hollywood.
Yep, Brad Newhouse, Mr. Box Office himself. Top grossing male screen star in 1956.
Now, Fleming's found herself a world-class playboy.
You know, but they've been slow dancing there for almost an hour. I'm still waiting for them to switch to the horizontal format.
It's called romance, Bets. You ought to try it sometime.
Yeah, there's plenty of time for romance, Cleary. Once you run out of other things to do.
Careful, honey. You're a long ways from Portland.
You can't judge an apple by looking at the tree. You can't judge honey by looking at the bee. You can't judge a daughter by looking at the mother. You can't judge a book by looking at the cover. Come on. Hey!
I can't believe Alice would simply take a man into her house and entertain him. She wasn't like this in Portland. I told my father he was wrong about Alice. But just because a girl wins a beauty contest and gets a studio contract doesn't mean she automatically becomes uninhibited.
Miss Fleming, why don't you give your sister a call? Maybe she can put those pictures into perspective for you.
No, she doesn't know I came down. Besides, how could I explain to her that I hired somebody to spy on her? Here's your money, Mr. Cleary. Thank you. You did your job very well. Too well, I'm afraid.
Think about calling your sister. Give her a chance to explain.
I don't blame her. I blame this town.
You and 5 million other people. Good night, Miss Fleming.
Mr. Cleary?
By looking at the cover. All right. You can't judge sugar by looking at the cane. You can't judge a woman by looking at her man. You can't judge a sister by looking at her brother. You can't judge the book by looking at the cover.
2745. Yeah, it's me. Put him on.
Talk to me, Ruth. What have you got?
Pay dirt.
Oh man, rhythm is in my shoes. It's no use to sitting and singing the blues. So be my guest, you got nothing to lose. Won't you let me take you on a sea cruise? Ooh-wee, ooh-wee, baby, ooh-wee, ooh-wee, baby. Won't you let me take you?
There he is. You ever figure the guy just might want to be alone?
Could be. I want him to tell me that himself.
I told him I wouldn't be needing a chauffeur, but record company insisted on it.
Down, boy.
I take 5, huh, Jackson?
Where have I seen that face before?
Lineups, pool halls, post office walls. Be careful, he bites. Man's never in when I call. He never returns my messages. Finally, I have to blow 10 hard-earned bucks on his landlady to find out where the elusive Felix McFatter is.
If you expected me to look at you, you better move around out in front of me.
Morning, Felix.
Cleary?
You look better. That Frankenstein necktie does something for you.
Regular Red Skelton today, aren't you?
Thank you. So, this your new government job, coastal defense. The Japanese try it again, you'll see them coming and call Washington, huh?
I'm not with the feds anymore, you know that.
Who are you with? I'm looking for a handyman with a microphone and a wire.
Keep looking. I'm retired.
Yeah, I guess feeling guilty and sorry for yourself's a full-time job. Feelings like that are bad company for a man on his own.
What I do is my own business.
Yeah, well, you're probably right. I need a guy with a little more finesse anyway.
What kind of crack is that?
Just that I need a top-rate audio surveillance pro, not some washed-up civil service grunt.
Where you get off saying something like that to me? I got 12 years in the FBI. If it makes a noise, I can bug it.
Like you bugged my office last month? I spotted your handiwork 5 minutes after you walked through the door.
Did you come down here just to insult me?
I had to drop off some dry cleaning anyway. Well, so long, Felix. Keep watching for those Jap subs.
What are you looking at?
We're out of here.
That confidential job we had in the hills 3 days ago?
About it.
Appears it's a tightly held secret between you and me and any slob with a spare quarter.
You can't keep a good man down. Seems to be the motto of Paragon Studio's #1 box office he-man, rugged Brad Newhouse. The all-American hero likes to take his pick of the starlets under contract to the studio. Not that the lady, young Alice Fleming, whose screen appearances wouldn't fill the blink of an eye, wasn't willing. Our exclusive photos show that the bosomy Miss Fleming bent over backwards to give bold Brad just what he craved. Brother. They printed her address and everything.
Welcome to Hollywood, Alice.
Our big sister in Portland's gone with the wind. Checked out of the hotel, no forwarding address. There's nothing left in that room but a whole lot of air, man. What's to do, Cleary?
If I can't talk to one sister, then I'll talk to the other.
Hey, watch out!
Get away from my house and leave me alone, please.
Look, Miss Fleming, my paper runs a story with or without your comment. Don't you want to tell your side, a statement, a quote? Describe your night with Brad.
Leave me alone.
I'll go. Just
Get away from my house. Just leave me alone,
I'll give you a
please.
statement. You're short, you're ugly, and you're leaving. Take the rest of your colleagues with you.
You ever hear of freedom of the press?
You ever hear of pain?
Thank you, Mr.
Cleary. Jack Cleary. The guy who took these pictures. Can we talk?
I used to think I was the luckiest girl in the world, winning that silly pageant, getting a real contract with a real studio. They paid for my acting lessons, they bought me clothes, they treated me like a princess.
How long have you been seeing Brad Newhouse?
We only had that one date. He called me, said he'd seen me at the studio, and would I like to go to dinner? Would I like to go to dinner with every woman's dream date? And the dream turned into a nightmare. They published my phone number. How could they do something like that? I've been getting calls since 6 o'clock this morning. Vile, ugly calls.
That stuff's not gonna help any.
That's swell advice from the man who got me in this mess to begin with.
Believe me, I had no idea this was gonna happen.
But this makes me look like I'm some kind of a party girl. It wasn't like that. He was a perfect gentleman until we got out here by the pool. We went back inside, we drank coffee, we listened to music. Then he went home. How am I gonna explain this to my family? I don't suppose you know anything about decent people working for a rag like Hollywood Uncensored.
I told you I don't work for them.
Then how'd they get the pictures?
I don't know. Maybe they broke into my client's hotel room.
Your client. And who might that be?
Look, I came to apologize. Tell you I'm trying to get to the bottom of this thing, but I can't reveal the name. I'm sorry. Please try to understand.
Under the circumstances, I'm finding that a bit difficult.
Your sister hired me.
My sister. I don't have a sister.
It was Joe.
Hey, that wasn't me in those panties and wig, Buster. Now, have you got a comment before we print those pictures or what?
It's that gaffer from Metro. Guess who's so loaded they can't get her out of her dressing room again? Okay, give it to me.
Hey.
Look, I told you need an appointment.
Hey, where's that reporter? I'll wring his neck and I'll sue you for that.
It was one of those ghastly religious pictures. She was playing Joan of Arc. The woman should have played Mary Magdalene. She's done so much research for the part. Run, Claudine. See you at the luncheon in half an hour. Those pretty golden letters on the door spell private. You might wish to study them on your way out.
You're ringing for your bouncers, you're gonna have to wait a while. You get their hands full in reception with an irate husband.
Am I to know your name?
Jack Cleary. These are my pictures. I want to know how you got them.
Oh, you're the private investigator, aren't you? Yes, the suit gives it away.
The pictures, Mr. Pratt.
I have nothing against detectives. We have several on staff. They get $30 a week and a bowl of hot food at the end of each day. As for the pictures, our sources are held in the strictest of confidence. But since you seem to have such a healthy curiosity about the story, I can tell you they were provided to us anonymously. I deem them of substantial journalistic merit, and we published them.
Journalistic merit, my foot. I just came from Alice Fleming. Those pictures were a real body blow to that kid, and I want to know how you got them.
She can take it. Starlets are cut from galvanized steel.
You listen up!
No, you listen, my Neanderthal friend. If someone duped you into taking these photographs, it's no concern of mine. You may wish to go to court on the matter. Fine. Every time I step into a courtroom, the circulation goes up by 10%. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an appointment which, while trivial in nature, is much more important than talking to you.
You can save your rape your wit for your two-bit editorials. I don't buy any of it. I don't like you, and I don't like your sleazy magazine.
And I don't care what you don't like. As for this publication, 3.5 million red-blooded American morons plunk down their greasy quarters for my magazine so they can read about the peccadillos of the only royalty this grim little nation ever had, the Court of Hollywood. And I'll pass along another bulletin. Miss Fleming and other ladies of similar glandular talents may scream when they appear in the pages of Hollywood Uncensored, but I can assure you they'd scream even louder if they didn't.
You haven't seen the last of me.
Get a photographer out there. I want the body, the pool, everything.
No, it's Zane the chapped up with Brad Newhouse, Alice Fleming. Right. It's on the police band. She just killed herself.
Come on, Nichols, forget you worked for the studio. How long had the girl been seeing Newhouse before Hollywood Uncensored broke the story?
It's personal, Bill. But I will say, Paragon Studios was considering Miss Fleming for a speaking role in our major Technicolor production, Store-Bought Sunshine. You got the release on that, right?
Yeah, right.
Empty gin bottle and a bar stocked with Nembutols. I figure she stood up, none too steady, slipped, cracked her head on the edge, and fell in the pool. Either that or she got deliberately smashed and climbed in on purpose. Either way, the lady drowned.
She was drowning long before she hit the pool, Charlie.
Hey, keep those spectators back.
Folks, move back. Doorway.
Somebody said you were the guy that got all those great shots of Newhouse, and what's her name?
She had a name. Her name was Alice Fleming. Get it right.
Hey, come on. Get out of the way here. Help us out here, will you?
Jeez, Larry. I had to park 4 blocks away. There was people all over the sidewalk like there was going to be a parade or something.
Get a press release later.
This time tomorrow, the street you're standing on will be teeming with actors and technicians for the first day of shooting of Paragon Studios' $4 million production, The King of Manhattan, starring, of course, our very own Brad Newhouse. This will be Brad's 6th picture with us, including 2 awaiting release. Major commitment, but Brad Newhouse is a major star. Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Newhouse.
Thank you, Harry. And thank you, good people. You know, I used to think that Lance Buchanan and Troy Chandler and a couple of my other tennis buddies were just kidding when they talked about a studio being like a family. Well, I know better now. See, these backlot streets are like a hometown to me. When I was growing up on a farm in Kansas, Hollywood and the movies were just like a dream to me. And that dream has come true now.
Young lady,
thanks to people like
remove this fluid.
And everybody I've had the pleasure of being associated with at Paragon. They're really a first-rate organization.
I just wanted you to know Alice Fleming isn't upset about those pictures anymore. She's dead.
So is Caesar's wife. Should I cry over her as well?
She's dead and you're alive. Something about that strikes me as real unfair.
Is there a problem here?
Nothing I can't handle.
Oh, we don't mind helping out. It's part of the job.
It's personal. Back off.
Let's get security.
I'd have dragged you down to the morgue and make you look at her. 23 years old and she ends up on a porcelain table and you put her there. You ever seen an autopsy before, Pratt? They use knives and saws and measure out her heart on a scale. How much would your heart weigh in at, Pratt?
Excuse me. I'm very busy.
I'm clearing my desk of everything but you. I'm shutting you down before your slimy rag can hurt anybody else, and that's a promise. Larry, come on, man.
I've always thought the dynamics of film acting required a whole different range of tools, new emotional instruments. As an actress myself, I've always admired the way you find all the nuances of a character, each of his fascinating nooks and crannies. Like in Lady Luck when you dropped that poker chip down the front of Sid Charisse's. I thought you'd be here an hour ago.
We blew up the coast for some fresh ozone.
I told him to wait in your office. I was about to offer him some coffee.
Offer who?
Mr. Clary, I'm Brad Newhouse. You stay in this town long enough, you get selectively numb. And then something like this thing with Alice Fleming happens, and it pulls you up.
This thing we're talking about is a young woman killing herself.
Police said it could have been an accident.
The point is, Baxter Pratt, he's turned morbid curiosity and the invasion of privacy into $1 million business for himself.
Tell me something I don't already know.
Today at the studio, you said you'd like to put Pratt and his magazine out of business. Mr. Newhouse in the studio would like to bankroll your project. You'd have the studio resources backing you up, would double your rate.
Just to get Pratt out of your hair?
Yes. And of course, if you happen to break into that septic tank he calls a newsroom and found any other files on Mr. Newhouse or any other Paragon Studio star, there'd be a considerable bonus.
Strictly public relations, eh, Mr. Nichols?
No, there's more to it than that. Mr. Cleary, the morning that magazine hit the street, Alice Fleming tried to call me. I ducked the call. Got some bad advice on that. Alice was just what you saw. She was a sweet girl who wanted to be in the movies. Somebody should have warned her about life out here. Maybe I should have warned her. I know that I should have done more than just spend the night with her and then leave her to handle all this garbage alone. Well, I'll have to live with that. I don't know how. But removing Pratt seems like a good place to begin.
When can you start?
I started 4 hours ago.
Mr. Newhouse, as one artist to another, I just wanted to tell you how much I admire the dynamic range of your instrument. Tool. Talent.
Thank you.
Felix, what? Fish give you the day off for good behavior?
No, I've been busy.
Oh? Found some unsuspecting employer, did you?
Yeah, something like that. Now, I figure if you really want to cover this guy, Pratt, well, it's a tap on the private lines going into the office. A couple of bugs at the magazine, his home, transponder his car. Start off with a little exploratory surgery tonight. Maybe take Elvis here alone, let him hold a flashlight. For a man who started 4 hours ago, you've been wasting a lot of time.
McFadder, you broken down fed? You bugged my office again.
Easy, Claire. I've been listening from the empty office down the hall. Now, I'll tell you where the bugs are, but we gotta settle a few things first.
Like what?
I get $27 a day, plus gas money, plus business cards, plus office space, plus...
Welcome aboard, Felix the Cat.
Mr. Spinalzo, don't tell me you have to get in to check the radiators again.
Felix, how am I gonna fix this lock if you keep hogging the line?
You ever see this Alice Fleming in the movies?
Nope, just threw the telephoto on when they were taking her out. Man, I just don't know what it is to look at your life and decide to 86 yourself.
Good.
Look, man, I'm sorry. Bingo.
Yeah, you got a nice touch. Firm, easy, you don't leave any marks.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Think like you, Bet. You can manage not to get yourself killed the next couple of years. You could have yourself a real interesting life.
Cause of death on Alice Fleming?
Accidental drowning precipitated by ingestion of alcohol and barbiturates. Death by misadventure.
What do you see?
Well, what am I supposed to see?
Look. Here. When the handle meets the metal. What do you see?
Blonde hair.
Alice Fleming's hair. And not just a little bit of clump stuck in, pinched off by the metal. Somebody put her in this pool and held her under with that thing.
So it was murder. I'll pull her file. Someone who'd kill a girl this way has got to have antifreeze in their veins.
I find them. Check it out for you.
Ruth Corrigan, 2001 Franklin Avenue.
Yeah, that's her. That's the sister. Or at least the one who says she's a sister. Yeah, that's one chick clear as dying to drop in on.
Oxnard must be beautiful this time of year.
Actually, we get a lot of rain these days.
I like the sound of rain. Don't you just love a real long, hard rain?
We tend to get mudslides up there.
Enough of this gay banter. Let's make some noise.
What happened, Ruth? Missed the last bus to Portland?
Sorry, my mistake. Wrong room. I was just waiting for a friend. Pardon me.
Zip up. I want to know who set up Alice Fleming.
Set her up for what?
Be murdered. You see, you and I did our part. I took the pictures, you passed them on to Pratt, we softened her up. But somebody came along and finished the job. Held her under till her lungs filled with water.
Get out.
I want to know why.
I don't have to tell you thing one.
It's okay, I can guess a lot of it. How a girl ends up in a fun house like this. Came to this town when you're 18, 19, stardust in your eyes, just like Alice Fleming. Well, there wasn't a contract waiting for you. She got a job at some cocktail lounge in the Strip, slinging drinks. When it tells you to sit down, rest your pretty legs for a while, start having a few drinks with the customers. After a while, they start buying more than just drinks. Until one day, a guy doesn't have time to buy you the presents. So they just offer you the money instead. So that when a reptile like Pratt comes along and offers you a chance to get even, you jump on that gossip merry-go-round and start slinging the mud.
You think you're pretty smart, don't you?
I've managed to live this long.
I've been known to make a woman forget plenty.
I hate you.
Cut! Okay, we're gonna keep that one. Fabulous, Brad. Marvelous.
Okay, listen, I'm running out of time here. We're gonna leave this late. I'll tell you what I want to do. Go to scene 20.
What happened to your face? I zigged when I should have zagged. Came by to tell you in person, Alice Fleming didn't commit suicide. She was murdered.
What?
Who? I don't know. Cops are working on it, and so am I.
Pratt was responsible for that.
He may still be.
Poor girl.
My office, you said you spent the night with her.
Yes.
Things have changed. I need you to tell me every detail what went on between you and Alice Fleming that night in her house.
Look, don't you think that Baxter Pratt's done enough damage to that girl's reputation?
Brad, please. Brad, we're ready to go again.
Excuse me.
Listen, Brad, you gotta go up to $7.5, so...
Harry just told me that Edward was killed.
Yes, Prince
stuff with that kind of slant. They're not going to be privileged with that sort of
I still think it's kind of ghoulish listening in on people like this.
Everybody does it.
No, I agree.
Everybody does not.
You were reading the gossip magazines when I came into Bill Cleary's office.
That's different. The magazines aren't about real people. They're about movie stars and famous types.
That's secret, same as you.
My life's an open book.
You telling me you got no secrets in your soul? Something you did, something you didn't do? Something you couldn't explain to the world because you can't explain it to yourself? Tell me no. I'll call you a liar right to your cute little face. Everybody's got a cellar door in their hearts. Everybody.
Troops?
Looks like somebody had around a badminton with your head for a shuttlecock.
That's a good one coming from a guy with 5 pounds of hardware around his neck. What you got in the wire?
A lot of stuff about who's sleeping with who and a real hot tip from the guy who made Clark Gable's false teeth. So far, the only thing illegal in that office is our bug, man.
What do you make of that?
To Benson Heppel for 25 years of service. Pacific Power and Light.
Something tells me that wasn't Mr. Heppel that tried to kill Ruth Corrigan last night.
Might be worth some nosing around.
It's a good idea. I got something for you. Head out to Paragon. Tell Brad Newhouse when he leaves the studio.
Well, I thought we were working for Newhouse.
We are, but I want to cover all bases. He's saying stuff about that night with Alice Fleming that doesn't jive with what she told me. I don't know which one's telling the truth. Until I do.
I got a full tank and I'm ready to roll, boss.
It seems to me that 2 persons in a car, one of which being the opposite gender, would make the vehicle appear even more innocuously unnoticeable.
What happened to your date, doll? Couldn't make bail?
Urchin.
Dottie, if you're that hot to get another look at a movie star in the flesh, be my guest.
Oh, Cleary, come on.
Get out of here. Go have some fun.
Look, just don't touch anything in the car, okay? Don't touch the dash, don't touch the glove compartment, and especially, don't touch the radio.
Mind if I ask you something?
Shoot.
Suppose we do find a way to put Pratt out of business. Maybe even tie him in with murdering Alice Fleming. Shut down one scandal sheet. Next day, 5 more open for business. Can't change the whole world, Brother Cleary.
Not trying to change it all. Just the parts that rub up against me.
Imagination is funny.
It wasn't a cocktail lounge on the Strip. It was a poker club in Glendale. So I guess that means you don't know everything, do you?
Man stops learning, he starts dying.
I came to tell you I'm getting out of this town. As soon as I can scrape up the money.
Doing what?
Figured I'd go back east. See if my family remembers me. I also wanted to let you know that Pratt didn't set me up to hire you. I made sure he got the pictures. That was my job. But he didn't set it up. The studio did.
Paragon?
Told me to hire a detective. Told me where and when you could get the pictures of Newhouse and the girl.
With the studio?
Head of publicity, Harry Nichols.
Doesn't make sense. The studio would want to protect its star.
They were.
And besides, I've seen every movie Brad Newhouse has ever made. Ugh. Love's a crazy thing. Let's stay married. Men of the Coral Sea. That's when he stayed on the deck of the submarine after the periscope got knocked out. And he talked him through a minefield. What a man.
Sure got all the babes in those movies. Beverly Garland, Barbara Rush, Julie London. Wonder which one he's got in there with him right now.
Yeah, I sure would like to be in her shoes.
Ha! Keep dreaming.
Well, movies are dreams. Hollywood does the dreaming for the whole country. That's why people kill themselves coming out here. Then they get here and they find out all those beautiful dreams come out of big, ugly warehouse sort of buildings. And they're made by ordinary people who get stuck in traffic, bounce checks just like everybody else. It's like visiting Santa's North Pole and finding out it's a Hong Kong sweatshop. Johnny.
That's good. Next week we'll work on my last name.
There's somebody up there.
Great, let's go. Get out of here. Hey! Who the hell's out there?
I'm a better actor than people think. I've gotten so good at playing Brad Newhouse. People have no idea what's going on inside me. I've had a lot of help, though. The studio's got a big investment in me and my image. They even arranged for me to marry my agent's secretary, and then they figured a divorce would only reinforce the idea that I was a playboy.
And every now and then they'd furnish you with a fresh starlet for appearance sake. But this had to have a little more weight this time. Why? Did they think Pratt was getting too close to finding out you were a homosexual?
Secrets don't keep well in this town. I've been running on borrowed time for too long. Too many secrets, too many lies. My whole damn life's a lie.
Here's your chance to do something about it. Who killed Alice Fleming?
I don't know. Believe me. Look, I've been under a lot of pressure lately.
You want to talk about pressure? Let's put this on the table. Alice Fleming is dead because she got involved in your shadow play. Yeah.
Felix on the line.
Felix?
Yeah. Pratt just called the head of public relations at Paragon. Joker by the name of Nichols said he had some very interesting pictures of Brad Newhouse taken at the beach. And he offered to sell the studio the worldwide publishing rights for $100 grand.
Did Nichols go for it?
There must be some pictures. Nichols didn't even think about it. He's meeting Pratt at the Crescendo with the money at 10.
Thanks, Felix.
Oh, don't worry. You'll get a bill.
You got a decision to make. Pratt just offered to sell Nichols those pictures of you and your friend. Nichols is buying.
So what's the decision?
You do nothing. Nichols buys the picture, story goes away, your secret's safe. For a while.
Or
you give me the word. I'll pick up the phone, call the cops, tell them I've got hard evidence that Baxter Pratt's an extortionist. They'll pick him up after the payoff at the Crescendo tonight, and we'll stop him cold.
if we do that, you promise nobody will find out about me?
No. The only thing I can promise you is that Pratt will be out of business. And the lying will stop.
You don't know what you're asking. I'd be destroyed.
You'd be destroyed? Well, the Brad Newhouse they paste up out of press clippings would be destroyed. Look. In a million years, I couldn't imagine what it means to feel the way you feel. But I've seen enough of this world to know that when some group or other is singled out for so much hate, it's usually out of fear. The only way to stop that hate is to face the fear.
There's got to be another way to stop Pratt.
There is, I don't know about it. Yeah.
I got the story on the watch. This guy, Heppel's house was robbed 6 months ago. The cops had a suspect named Otto Plunkett, but they couldn't make it stick because he had an alibi.
What kind of alibi?
Time carded his job. He works as a painter for Paragon Studios.
Hey, Otto. Hey, what do you want? What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Stop it!
The faster you talk, the sooner I can let you down.
Stop it!
Otherwise, I'll just wait and see how many times you bounce.
I'm gonna get you! I'll kill you! I'll kill you!
Having fun up there? Any time this week will be fine.
crazy. Willie said, Papa, don't put me down. They're doing that hand jive all over town.
No big Hollywood premieres tonight, Harry?
Hey, Cleary. What a surprise.
Better cancel the martini. You're not going to have time to drink it.
Some kind of joke, Cleary?
You see me laughing. Otto Plunkett just told me a real interesting story. Maybe your bosses want to buy it for the movies. It's all about how you decided to have Alice Fleming killed after the magazine came out. Even though she tried to convince you the story was all a lie. Of course, you already knew that. Since you arranged the whole thing right down to Brad Newhouse making with the big movie house kisses. But only when there was an audience around. She was going to go to the press, which would have put a monkey wrench into all your hard work to make him look like everyone's fantasy lover.
That's insane.
Killing a girl over a movie star's phony image. You bet it's insane.
I got $100,000 in cash in this briefcase. I'm gonna buy those pictures Pratt had taken out at that damn homo's place out on the beach. I can get another $100 grand for you as soon as the banks open up in the morning.
Really?
It's peanuts to Paragon. They got $16 million in unreleased Brad Newhouse films. Unreleasable if the facts came out.
You know, I've seen a lot of people killed for love, power, politics, greed. I once saw a guy killed by a pool stick over a bad three-cushion bank shot. But over the movies, now this is it. This is the limit. And there's only one thing that's stopping me from grabbing you by the neck and slamming your face into the bar till it looks like hamburger.
What's that?
Mr. Nichols, I wonder if you'd mind taking a little walk with me.
Hand jive, hand jive, hand jive. Do that crazy hand jive, hand jive, hand jive, hand jive. Do that crazy hand jive, hand jive, hand jive, hand jive. Do that crazy hand jive, hand jive. Do that crazy hand jive. Many a tear.
My, fancy meeting you here. The oaf at the door misunderstood me when I said I was expected at the table.
I told them to send you over here. Sit down.
Not that I don't enjoy your company, Mr. Carey. You do have a certain stevedore charm, but I have a business appointment.
Harry Nichols should be at Central Booking by now. Sit down.
Perhaps I will join you.
Nichols had Alice Fleming killed.
Yes, I rather thought he must have. He should have chosen a more experienced beard, I believe the phrase is. One that wouldn't have protested so much. There are girls in this town who could have taken what happened to Alice Fleming and built a career out of it. But there you are.
There you are. Out of $100 grand in extortion money.
It's hardly extortion, Mr. Cleary. I was simply going to sell the photos and story to Paragon Studios. Perfectly legal. But I must say, I'm rather grateful to you for meddling this way. Now I'll be able to run the pictures and the story. It would have been a crime to waste the headline I came up with. Bold Brad's Beach Retreat, Home Sweet Hobo. Pictures are quite remarkable. Would you like to see them? No. But this time next week, you won't be able to avoid them. Newhouse and his Muscle Beach playmate will be staring out at you from every newsstand and cigar store. They'll be reading the story over radio and television. It'll be everywhere.
You love the power to destroy people, don't you?
They destroy themselves, Mr. Cleary. I merely provide the play-by-play and color commentary. America's insatiable appetite for sour grapes takes care of the rest. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a deadline to make.
This isn't the end, Pratt. I'm gonna put you out of business.
Careful. The czar you know is better than the one you don't. Whoever takes my place might actually be worse. Send you a copy of the next issue.
Many a tear has to fall.
Don't you have any secrets?
No, Mr. Newhouse. I am without sin and sleep the sleep of the just.
All in the wonderful game.
I guess you go straight to heaven.
We know.
Shot by actor friend. Even then Babylon by the sea.
About an encounter of a perverse sexual nature with another man. Photographs found at the scene and soon to be published make it obvious Newhouse was
we
trying
have
to
dirt to dish out tonight. Talk about the movie industry dragging its skirts in the mud. Wait till I tell you, is reeling from the murder of crusading publisher Baxter.
Revelations about an encounter of a perverse sexual.
Sergeant, I'm about to release the rest. They got this killed.
It's on the radio. All the stations.
Tomorrow to be in the newspapers and the newsreels by the end of the week. I got to give you something in my office.
What is it?
The money you paid me to photograph Alice Fleming? Here, take it. Buy yourself a bus ticket back east. Or get yourself some new working clothes. Just only don't tell me which. I want to pretend something good came out of all this.
Why didn't I meet you the day I came to this town? Instead of the day I leave.
We play the cards they deal us.
Many a tear has to fall.
Come on, let me buy you a cup of coffee.
But it's all in the game. All in the wonderful game that we know as love.
A hurricane, an armed robbery, a pregnant woman, and a murder plot turn a quiet dinner party into a disaster on Magnum P.I. Monday afternoon at 4. Now stay tuned as Carmen Harlan and Rich Make, sitting in for Mort Trim, bring you the latest news for the metro area on the News 4 Night Beat. Then singer Robert Goulet joins Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show, coming up on Channel 4.
World premiere movie, Man Against the Mob, Sunday.